This will be Luke 6, chapter 16, verse 27 is where we're going to start right now, and it is part 18. So let me see if I can pull up the text that's needed here, put me in the picture, and then we're continuing from this long parable that Lazarus, who I've named Lazar, is now communicating with Abraham, and there's hell, there's in hell, and then there's here over here in heaven, and there's this abyss between them. Or so there's no one line to come here is able to cross from there. Now, he said, I beg you to send them to my father's house. Now, here's the problem with this text. I've got it, I already have it as they're in hell, which means man should not exist on the earth. So the text here is saying, my father's house, I have brothers, warn them, and they will not be sent to this place. And Abraham is replying to Moses and his prophets to learn from them. So here, Jesus is saying that he has not arrived yet here in this story for the well, he is telling the story, but I've got him already after the second coming, so I've got to correct that. Here, Jesus is talking about they're supposed to do what our Creator told Moses to do, set up the laws for his nation, and then to understand what his prophets were talking about Jesus coming. Then they'll come to Jesus, and they can end up in heaven. But since we have people here, I have to not put hell here in the abyss, because this is where they are truly sent until Jesus ascends. So we have to have this as the abyss is where he is at. And now we've got that part corrected. Now it's this tormenting. There is no torment, or there's no to dip in the water and to cool my tongue from the agony of this flame. So how do well, I've got to get rid of all this no matter what I've added. Have mercy on me. Okay, so I have to have all this removed. He cried out to Abram, have mercy on him. And Abram replied, okay, yes. So this is now not in the text. To make it truthful, yes, okay, whoops, I again forgot to say that that's an added word, or change word from order to commanded. Okay. Yeah, this is just a continuation of the words from above. Now we have Moses or Abraham's reply is correct. Now, he is begging that, or he tells them they have Moses, So they're not sent to this place. That's his brother's. And so it wasn't just a rich, so he wasn't just a rich male. I'm going to say master here, meaning that he has a house with servants. He's so rich, okay? He has to be a master because they can't be his brothers neither now. It would be his sons. Yes. And now it has to be his sons, not brothers. I wouldn't be to father's house neither. Send them to my house where I have sons. And all this, I have sons, and let him warn them. They're not sent to his place. Okay, no. And yes, Moses and prophets will now be pursued. Okay, yeah, I guess he's replying here to Abraham. Yeah, he says, no, Abraham, if Lazarus goes to them from the dead, because they'd have to recognize him and they would know him, they will repent. And he replied, if they do not listen to Moses' prophets, neither will they be persuaded by Lazarus. You are to expect stumbling blocks to test your life. Those are them who come through whom they come. Stumbling blocks should come, but the object is to test your life, these stumbling blocks. So I needed to make sure that this is my words going in here, and later I will correct them, but I just want to make sure that when you're reading this, you don't have to remember that. Let's see. And doesn't need this. This words don't need that. He said, be on your guard if you're. And now this is Jesus. If your brothers, be on your guard if you're. I need to have brothers and sisters here. Yes, it is down. I'm just gonna have to carry on. If they repent, if they repent, forgive them. You, now you can't sin against each other, okay? That's the thing. Sin this here, if he sins against you 7 times, uh, you say 7 times saying to repent, forgive him. This is not true. Jesus is not that stupid. He knows sins are only against our Creator for not obeying the 12 commandments. So this is just a false statement here being said, and not the apostles. That's they use 2 words, and I'm thinking what they're trying to distinguish between the two of them is well, they're adding to make two the words that mean the same. That's just not true. Let's keep them all disciples. A disciple asked my Lord, increase our faithfulness. Um, increase our faithfulness to YV. I'm thinking I need to add here. Yeah, I think it's going to read a whole lot better with this understanding. Because you're kind of left hanging. Increase our faithfulness to what? Who? To you? No. To our Creator is the right answer. So let's not have false preachers come up and start telling you that it means other than our Creator. Jesus said, "You have, if you have, if you have not faith but trust." And this is Jesus trying to get rid of faithfulness to trust. Um, it will obey you. Here, all these are out. I don't know what this has to do with you and what you have to eat and drink, and I don't see how that can be related to um, like a prophecy meaning about Jesus's kingdom, because that's what it's truly all his proverbs are about. Yeah, all these are out. This has nothing to be interpreted or to understand um, a meaning for our Creator. Um, while he was walking by Samaria, now this now this is in Israel. I want you to know that Samaria has been found, and let me put up, whoops, that's the wrong now. Where am I at there? Sorry about this. I just want to make sure you know to where to be this location. It's sad that I have to search all the time here. Should have been on maps. That's wrong. I've changed. Now, how come the map that I found an error in the maps when I made them in 2017, and I'm starting to correct them, and I thought I had them corrected. But I guess I'll bring this map up here. This little dot right here is Samaria. This is the capital city for Israel. It was Bethel down here when Saul was king, but when after David's time, Samuel went to and disobeyed our Creator. Anyways, and for that, he caused a division or told him that he sent a prophet that told him to divide the land, and 2 parts will be Judah, and the 10 parts will be called Israel. And then the later Jeroboam comes down and makes Bethel a pagan place for worship. But the thing here is later a king Omar buys this hill here, and it becomes the center point of everything, which is Samaria, and it's the capital. It's now the capital city for the king here. I don't care what they say wherever they are at. This I will reveal. I've told the story already a few times, so you can go back to those videos. I'm trying to get through this one here. So that's the area that he's walking by, and he entered a village, and 10 leopards stood up to meet. 10 leopards stood up to meet him. They didn't need to be at a distance. All that doesn't matter. And said to Jesus, "Have mercy on us." I could have changed the word Lord to "My Lord, have mercy on us." Our Lord, have mercy on us. But I guess it doesn't need to be there. The text is saying who they're talking to. And he just sent them to go show yourselves to the priest. And that is, that's different than the last time Jesus sent them, the lepers to be healed. They were to bring an offering to the priest as a witnessing that they were healed by our Creator. So here, that is what Jesus is not saying the same thing here. But as they were walking to Jerusalem, they were healed because Jerusalem is the place where our house for meeting with our Creator is at, and that's where it was held as the place for the promised land. Um, mm, yeah, it's the only place that it was to be bringing offerings and sacrifices to be atoned. So, yes, walking to Jerusalem, they were healed, not cleansed. They were healed. You can't heal by cleansing, or you can't get rid of leprosy by just washing and cleaning. One of the healed returned, and she praised Wyvie. Now I'm adding she, but that's because there's not many stories of women being healed. So I'm putting she in here, and she praised Wyvie. She's the one that came back and then fell at his feet to give him thanks. Okay. Um, and he asked her, "Where are the others?" And she said she does not know because she just does not know. So it has to have an answer. I didn't want this text not to have an answer. Um, no one found who turned back, give glory, why except this foreigner. See, now it's this Samaritan here, and yet up here is Samaria. Okay, now do this. Maybe I have it wrong. Well, yeah, they've got it here in Jerusalem, Samaria. Okay, so see how they're, and this area here is actually Canaan's before then. They're trying to name this as an area. Okay, notice that they're trying. Notice how they're trying to make this as the area. You would not have um, places divided up like this. See, they've got Galilee, Samaria, and Judea as the division, and then over here they've also got it divided into two others. Even though I know the text does describe this as this area, and the text does describe it as this way, but when you name the governors, there's a governor over this, a governor over here, and there's a governor down here of old Judah. So the only thing is that's what's going on. They have this confusion of naming it as an area, and it would have been a city, um, because in the text, in the Hebrew text, uh, it's a city, and I'm just seeing how they're dividing this up, uh, and they really don't agree with each other. But that's the problem. Let's see if I could put city. No, I'm not seeing it here. Just kind of wondering why that's. Here it's got city, here it's got city. They're calling it a city here. And I know that that's because the story is there's a city, Samaria, so they have to, it has to be there. But it's still in the wrong place. It's a real good story of how Samaria reveals itself. Um, but almost 25 minutes. Read. Read to thank him. Doesn't know. Okay, but then he's told her it was your trust in me, not faith, but trust in me that I healed you. And then their scribes asked when his kingdom from YV comes. When is his kingdom from YV coming? And again, he's repeating it's not coming from signs, nor by observing. Okay. So that's pretty much explained why that was cleaned up. I'm not seeing anything big that I would confuse you with or lose you with. But again, this text would be that there's a separation there in the story. And then this is Jesus talking to the scribes, yet you have taught, look here or there, for the kingdom of YV is in your midst. That's how they teach it. Meaning the practice of have this kingdom, all this is double speak of what happens inside the body or of the body by having this meditation practice. So I'm leaving it as kingdom of YV because they have changed the words to mean other things. In this text, they're making our creator the female goddess here in this verse. For those of you who are going to try to take apart verses and why am I leaving this? Because it's their kingdom of her. You have to have her of her kingdom. And days are coming when you will no longer see your son for man, and that's him, that's Jesus. But you will still say, look here and there for it. And that's pretty much what they done. They re-edited the text. They tore out, I've given this example before, but I'm going to say it again. Some character named Paul, whose name was Saul before he was Paul, wrote something like 13 of books of the gospel. Now, the thing here is in, I think it's 1 Timothy, Saul, who is Paul, said he was once a blasphemer. Well, Jesus teaches us in Matthew that a blasphemer who has been speaking a long time against our Creator will not enter into heaven. So those that you are reading those books and saying they matter, well, the thing here is then you have to question Jesus whether all blasphemers, as he said, all blasphemers will not enter into heaven, meaning that whatever Saul or Paul, they made up all these stories, but if you think they're true, then you have to question Jesus, what every one of his words mean. So you either trust Jesus by saying all blasphemers will not enter into heaven, then that's what's going to happen to them. And those 13 books you just have to throw out. I mean, you start using any text from them, then you're questioning Jesus's words. You don't need really anything after I clean these up and you see the answer is being told to you here of Jesus and what he has talked about. You can't put a new wine in old wineskins. You must put it in a new wineskins. And Jesus is that new wineskin, and this is new teachings that he's teaching, because there's nothing about the second coming. Jesus talking about the second coming and what will happen to man and what will happen after man is left, all man is on Judgment Day. So you you have none of this text in the old wine or the words from the prophet. So that's how Jesus is teaching. Anything other than what goes beyond what Jesus is teaching is wrong. Okay. Um, so so blasphemers will not enter into heaven. But you will say, look here, and what they've done is they changed the text all the time, and they're going to refer to you can still meditate and have sex with the female goddess and enter their heaven. But that's true, true to even today, even though there's a war going on between them. Some have repented and no longer have that practice, and those are the good guys. They are the X-Men helping the humans. They made a movie, but you think it's just a movie. It's not. It's double speak. The whole movie is, and the series of movies are them getting away from their practice and now trying to help the humans make it back to Jesus instead of everything they've been rewriting history for so long. They've been rewriting history. Everything they find, they dig up. They have a problem. There was a guy that bought a bunch of old masks that they had lying around that were all deformed, but they found that these masks were put on the dead and then they were buried. But when they dug them up, they found these masks, and some were warped into whatever, and others were in pristine condition. So those, the museum said, we aren't getting rid of those, but those you can take. What he did was he took them apart, and what he found was they were using pages from books that were commonly written back then, that he'd found like the first page of Plato or something like that, or a famous book like that. And more than half the text doesn't match the text that is today. And just like this, they keep adding and adding and adding the words over and over and over and not correcting the text. So that's what they've been doing, is they've been rewriting all history to mean that they've been there all the time and we've been in control, and everything you read from the past, you're getting like brainwashed that you don't know about. Example, they told you there's only 10 commandments. People today, that's all they believe, is that there's 10 commandments. But if any of them have ever studied that group of text, and I'm surprised nobody in any of these theological colleges here we have in the United States, nobody, and not even a student, would have brought that up and questioned them. I mean, it's very simple to see. Let's see. Um, Here it is. Exodus 20, 1 through 17. And as you go through here, here's these listed. Now you're thinking that up here, anyways, here's the list. And the gray text is what I needed to add to the text to make it truthful. And where's you will not murder by your will, okay, or willingly. All the telic words are words that needed to be added. I think this is the breakout down. These are all the Hebrew words that are in the text. But when you see these and you can't get away from them, there's 12. Okay, now, but everybody just yes. Well, everywhere the book is taught from all these years, nobody has done that. But then that's why I'm here. That's why Jesus sent me, to make sure the truth of Jesus is being taught. But that's how they were teaching it. Like lightning flashing from one part of heaven to another part, so will your Son of Man be on his judgment day. Very visible, coming. You can't miss him when he's coming again. Is that coming? Okay, here there's going to be a lot of text missing. And after this, I'm going to call it quits for this video. But he wouldn't be telling them this information. This is what he's been telling the disciples not to tell others until after he passes away, or after he ascends into heaven. And this is all this that we're talking about here. He has already said that they will not know, and it'll be just as it'll be here. This here, it'll rain down fire on Sodom. I notice there's no Gomorrah here. There's just Sodom. And that's true when you find our Creator's hidden formats, that there was only one city, not two. This is not true. Jesus would not be lying here when he's saying this. He's described his second coming as, when he comes, it's too late to be forgiven anymore. Judgment is going to happen, and they're going to be separated right then, and there's no more man on earth, so they don't need to be running around. It's not going to take a month or a year, 2 years. These people that talk about a rapture and stuff like that, there is going to be no one left on this earth. So stop denying Jesus's words. And then, so all these are not going to happen. Okay, there's a lot more here that's not going to happen. Yeah, this is just, it's just going to be that our Creator is going to allow Jesus to judge, and the angels are going to go around, gather them up. I imagine it's just going to be that you're going to leave your soul, your body behind, and you either enter into heaven, and those that we don't see rising, or you don't see rising, will be descending into the abyss, and then the abyss is going to change into hell. Okay? Just like that quickly. He will not find faith on earth. That he's going to come and judge, and it's going to be done correctly and quickly. So I'm going to start the next video from here, and gonna have to wait till some of this equipment powers up. Got battery power to last through them. Anyways, we made it through. I made it through another one and getting closer to the end, and I can't hardly wait, but I want to make sure that you're understanding. I know that I just raced through all that, but I'm getting kind of tired of repeating, because I've done 2 whole books, and Matthew was twice as long as Mark was, and Luke isn't that long either. So you've got to listen to all of them to understand pretty much these that I raced through and why they're gone.